Same.
And I think that when you see that on screen, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
It feels cool. Like, there's something about the cool, like, ingenue that I'm like, I'm never gonna be that.
Never,
I'm
never.
sure I can play it for a movie, but like, it's never gonna be me in my life.
Oh my gosh.
So,
and it's exhausting trying to be that. I remember, like, Dawson's Creek was a big one for me when I was younger, and I tried so hard to be Katie Holmes in that,
Oh,
like
girl.
the girl next door, and I was like, that's just not me.
Some people are too cool and it looks exhausting, and I would rather just. It's fine. I'll be the weird girl next door. That's okay.
Yes. I love it. All right, let's talk about initiation.
Okay.
You play Kylie.
Yes.
Can you describe Kylie for us?
Kylie. She is a little warrior princess. This girl has been through so much in her life, and she's finally kind of coming out of it. It's been way too much for like her young years, and now she's in the sorority, and I think she's finally like ready to let loose and be a kid again and have fun. And very early on in the film, some stuff goes down. And needless to say, Kylie does not get to be a kid and have fun. And so it just follows. There starts being some murders on my big and everybody in the sorority trying to figure out like who done it, what's happening, who's safe and who isn't.
Yeah. And I think what I thought was so badass is that all of the female characters, in a sense, are kind of their own heroes. They look out for each other. I don't want to spoil too much. I know it's been out for a minute, but there's a scene, you know, the whole sequence towards the end of the film when y'all, the three of you, your character, and Ellery and Shailene are trapped in the, like, you know. And I was just kind of, it was sad. It's sad because I kept watching it being like, are they going to do it? Like, is there never going to be like a guy that comes to the rescue? Like, are they going to actually do this?
Yeah.
And it was so refreshing to see. And my God, I have chills thinking about it. It's just so badass.
I mean, John, our director, always talks about like us three are his screen queens. And he's like, this movie's for the women. Like, he was like, especially in horror, there is such a thing of like, the women get naked and the women get murdered. And he was like, absolutely not. He was like, in this film, the women are going to be the heroes and the women are going to be like the center of it. And it was so cool because it also didn't feel that way per se while filming. I feel like sometimes people set out to do like a feminist film. And every time you're on set, you're like, right, got it. We're feminists. I hear you. And this movie was just very, it just felt natural. Like, it just made sense that these three women would be taking the lead and that these three women would be badass and would be there for each other, even though, as you know, there's a lot of tension and thing that happens there, but like girl code over anything. And it was so fun. I loved it.
Oh my gosh. And especially, I mean, just even from the beginning, I think that, first of all, this film does a beautiful job at sort of creating this frantic energy even from the beginning. And I think that it really makes you take a step back and think about how much you're using social media in your own life, because the way that, you know, social media plays a role in the film creates, like I said, sort of that frantic energy. But even from the beginning, the girls are so in tune with each other and looking out for each other. Like you said, they have their code, and that just plays out. That doesn't disappear even when things get real rough.
Totally. Which is so, like, I'm sure you agree with, like, the women in our lives. Like, it's so the case. We're all so connected and making sure everybody's good. And it's, I mean, you know, it's really sad that we've had to do that and that this is the place where we're at and that we have to be so, you know, like, distinct about taking care of each other. But it's also kind of cool and, like, the sense of this happens without us having to think about it. Like, if you walk into a bathroom at a club, you know you are watching and making sure everybody there is good. Does anybody need anything?
Yes, so it's so true. You're like sharing
totally
lipstick, well, pre-COVID. You're like, it's so true. You're looking out. If you see a, you know, a girl that's maybe had too many in the bathroom, you're always looking out for each other.
Yeah.
That's so true. And we rarely see that depicted on screen.
Yeah, which is so bizarre. I think, you know, the film industry, I adore this industry, but so often we get portrayed in a way that's not accurate at all. And I'm like, what women are y'all meeting? Because the women in my life
exactly
are badass. And this is what?
Yeah.
So it was awesome. John is the coolest, and and of course Lindsay and Brian and everybody that had a hand in it. But it was awesome that a white man was like, no, we're gonna make our leads women, and they're gonna be badass.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's so important to shout out to all those male filmmakers who are allies, who are doing a wonderful job in this industry,
Mm-hmm.
to be aware of that and
Totally.
to consult women. You had a female writer on this film.
Mm-hmm.
For those little nuances and those complexities, like a buddy
Mm-hmm.
system or checking in. Yeah, I just thought it really threw me by surprise. It was just like, yes, God, it was awesome. It made all the blood not seem so bad.
Hey.
Okay, so